We had the Incredible Hulk. I also forgot Wonder Woman. But to end the 1970 decade, we had Captain America. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up and give a warm welcome to Reb Brown, Captain America.
This is Captain America.
Well, I'm glad we made it through the storm. It's good to see you guys. I've had a wonderful time here. I mean, you people have been so gracious, and hey, it's wonderful. What can I say? Thank you very much.
Okay. So, Reb, I'll start off with the first question,
Go ahead.
and we'll go out to the audience. We seem to have a good crowd here tonight. How did you get the part of Captain America?
When I was under contract at Universal, they were trying to find something for me to fit into, and Captain America came up, and I met with the producer, who was also the producer of $6 Million Man. We sat down at lunch, and an hour later he says, "Well, I guess you're Captain America." And I was just thrilled. It was wonderful. I'll tell you, being Captain America for me was just, I watched it as a kid, growing up when they had it on the cartoon, Captain America throws his mighty shield. And I fell in love with it. So when I got it, I was very, very happy. It was a wonderful situation for me to be in.
Does anybody have a question for Mr. Captain America? John.
Hi, Rick. What kind of physical training did you have to do to get in shape for that movie?
For Captain America, which one?
The first one.
The first one, at the time, I was working out at Gold's Gym with Lou Ferrigno, Arnold Schwarzenegger, all of those guys. And I could, stay up pretty much with them as far as strength was concerned. And then one day I walked into the locker room and I saw these guys shooting each other with needles. And I figured, oh, that's why I don't have the endurance they do. But that's where I worked out. I mean, I've been working out ever since I was 21 years old. And at least 3 times a
Are you
week.
going to?
My wife says that I'm like a Marine sergeant. I mean, the way I am. I mean, I'm 77 now. I'm the same weight I was when I did Captain America and all those other films.
With you working out, I guess that's the reason why you got to play box on Happy Days.
Oh yeah, I got to do Happy Days was a wonderful experience for me. When we did that show, it was Requiem for a Mouth. I don't know if you saw it, but I was supposed to beat up Ralph Malph, and Fonzie was supposed to come and tone down the situation. Anyway, when we were doing the filming, the actual rehearsal, I pick up Ralph Malph and I put him on the wall, but he used my legs, to support himself. He just put his legs on my thighs. And when we did the actual shoot, I picked him up, held him there for 5 minutes, and he goes, "Matt, you held me there for 5 minutes." And I said, "I was pumped." Well, it was just a blast. Happy Days was a great time, and they were a great bunch of guys. We had a lot of fun together. And when we're sitting there doing that scene, and Fonzie comes up to me, and I've got him on the wall, and he says, "What kind of car do you have?" I said, "I have a Chevy." And we started talking, and then I brought down Ralph Malph. But Ralph, that was a great opportunity and fun. Yeah, I'll tell you another one, a sitcom that I was in called Three's Company.
Captain America?
I had a blast doing that, and with John Ritter and Suzanne Summers and the whole gang. And when we did the rehearsal, once again, in the rehearsal, I'm supposed to kick down the door and go after Furley because I believe that he's with Chrissy, okay? Well, when we do the rehearsal, I kick down the door and nothing bad happens. When we do the actual show, I kick down the door and part of this top comes down. And John Ritter's on my shoulder and he goes, "Way to go, Reb, you just broke it." And I got to go through the door. Yeah, that was a good time. And John was chasing Suzanne Summers around with a whipped cream thing, and then the Lord World ladies going, We've only got one press. Stop it, John.
Open it
Yeah, it was a good time. We're good people.
Anybody have a question?
like this.
Was there ever any talk of a crossover with the other series at the time, like the Falcon, Spider-Man, and any of the Marvel series?
You know, I wasn't privy to that, but I know that when I finished the second Captain America, CBS requested 6 shows, okay? But Marvel Comics said that they wanted $50,000 an episode licensing fee. And the Hulk at the time was getting $2,500. So CBS couldn't do it. They said, "Me ride my motorcycle around the living room." And we couldn't do the show. But that broke my heart because I would have really loved to do that. I got a story for you from what happened to me on the second Captain America. We were filming down at Venice Beach, which is, as close as you can get to Star Wars bar as far as what's going on there. And I'm in my motorhome, and I'm just about ready to come out in my Captain America outfit. I mean, I'm looking at myself saying, all right, I'm ready to do battle, okay? So I come out of the door, and I'm standing like this with my shield, and there's a guy down there on the wall, and he looks up. I gotta stop drinking. And so, of course, I sat down and laughed, and he's blinking his eyes, and he looks again. Well, maybe not as real. And I'll never forget that. That was so much fun doing that on the beach down there. This Captain America was a real joy. I had a wonderful time doing it. And what could be more fun than playing a superhero? I mean, running 55 miles an hour, pulling people out of dune buggies. It was a gas. It was just a great time. And I crashed on the motorcycle a couple of times, but it was well worth it. I really enjoyed doing it. Any other questions?
Did you ever
I
ride a
like
motorcycle
it.
before you did that?
Mom.
Yeah, it was when I did on Chips. I wrote it on Chips. I did Chips. I had 3 episodes on Chips, and then they realized I was 6'4", and that was it. Yeah, I wrote it there. I crashed on, and I also crashed on Miami Vice. They were chasing me in a Ferrari, and I was shooting behind me because the Ferrari's chasing me. And they said, "Reb, you feel comfortable going to the other side?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I go around the other side. They did not stop traffic. I dumped the motorcycle and went underneath the truck. And and the guy on the radio, "Reb, are you okay?" I said, "You son of..." Never mind. But I was okay. But yeah, I did write it.
Now, you spoke about how Marvel wanted licensing fees because there were supposed to be crossovers with you, Spider-Man, and Incredible Hulk. Were those scenes ever filmed, or was it just in talking stages?
They're just
See
in
if somebody
talking
else
stages.
got
They
it.
never did it.
What?
We'll see
I
if
would
somebody
love to
else.
have done it. It would have been a blast.
Is Brad your nickname or?
Robert Edward Brown. There was already a Robert Brown in the guild, and they said, "You got to change your name." And my manager at the time said, "Well, Red will work." And I said, "Well, okay, it works for me." Yeah. You guys want to hear how I got discovered?
Yes.
All right. I was working at a bar in Pasadena, California called the Handlebar Saloon. This had sawdust on the floor. I mean, it was just like a real honky tonk. And an agent came in, the same one that discovered Valerie Perrine. His name was Robert Walker. And I was downstairs, and I was in the middle of throwing 2 guys out of the bar. And I had one guy in one hand, one guy in the other, by the shirt. And the agent goes, "Hey kid, you want to be an actor?" I said, "Just a moment." And I throw the guys outside. I come back and I said, "I wouldn't know what to do." He said, "That'll work." And after that, I ended up. Some of you people saw the movie, the Snake Picture. That was right before I got that part. He brought me over to Universal Studios, and I read for the part. They wanted a guy that was a football player that could be kind of mean and aggressive, and I could do it. And I got to do it, and that's how I started in show business. I went on the sheriff department for a short period of time after that, and then I got under contract at Universal. And then, thank God I got to do what I did. I really enjoyed it. Okay.
Any other questions?
Mom Browns.
I noticed the difference in the costumes between Captain America 1 and Captain America 2. Can you describe
And
the
ask.
inside of the book and the transition and the changes?
Yes, the first one was designed by Jean-Pierre Doriac, he's a famous designer. And at the time, Evel Knievel was really popular. And they had, and the outfit was very similar to that. Then Stan Lee saw it. That won't work for me. Okay, so we changed it, and that's how it happened. And people often ask us, why do you have to wear a helmet? Why do you have a clear shield on the motorcycle? The reason I had to wear a helmet is because of the highway patrol. The reason I had a clear shield was because of the highway patrol. They said you have to be able to see through the shield. So that's how it became clear like that. That's how we had to do it. But that's how the outfits changed that way. And actually, the first one for me, I kind of enjoyed it because I got to wear glasses instead of that cowl. And that cowl you get pretty sweaty in, you know. And then we usually filmed them in the summer and it got pretty hot. But it, you know, I liked them both. They're both a lot of fun to be in.
Anybody have a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Where is that clear shield now? You know?
The which one?
Shield?
It's on the motorcycle. Gary Davis has the actual motorcycle, and he's had it. He's shown it at museums and all kinds. He got offered $350,000 for it, and he said, "No, I'm going to keep it." And I said, "Can we share?" And no, but it's on there. It really is. It's banged up a bit, but he still got it.
What was it like working with some of the other cast members, especially Connie Selica and I believe it was Christopher Lee?
Oh yeah, Connie Selica was a joy, and the first lady in the first movie was Heather Menzies, and she was a joy. He was like the real James Bond, to be honest about it. I mean, he just he's an expert swordsman and rifle shot, but just an incredible human being. It was an absolute pleasure to be able to work with him. Excuse me? Yes, he was. Yes, he
How
he
long
was.
is all for this?
Yeah, because
How
they're
long
relatives,
is it
if I
going? I
remember.
got your video. 13
And
minutes.
just
Is it all for this
he was
week?
amazing. He just the things that he knew.